What's up, Mufus? Welcome back to the second episode of I Write a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, uh, live. Basically, the plan today is to go over what's changed in the last 2 weeks, because I have been in Europe. I've been in England and Scotland and the Netherlands, and I spent some time away, and I spent some time with some books, learning some things and writing some things. So I just want to take some time to look at the changes that have been made since then. And then I think we're going to focus in on Ebonhold and Tunarath today, because I want to work on the adventure hooks there. So, first things first, we have seriously toned down the high conglomerate in terms of their size, not necessarily their power or influence over the Ethereum, but we went from 10 houses down to 5. So we still have the Delglagors, the Tieflings name. Last episode I talked about them they were the Kyriads. I changed it to Khazraeus, which I thought was more Tiefling-y, which I liked more. The Turtles are back, the Sakakis. The Pendragons have moved to Desperado, because I thought it would be more dragon-like, since it's based on Eberron, which is the name is a dragon. The dragon is named Eberron. So I thought it would be better for the Dragonborn race to be from Eberron. And then I replaced them with the G-Som, which is a Yuan-Ti family, so the snake people. So they're going to be more, and I feel like that's more like Medusa-like kind of deal. So I think that fits the Greek vibe of Bowl that we're going for, as it is the Theros planet. Anyway, so I messed with a lot of the adventure hooks. So we have some more stuff going on in Ebonhold, a lot more stuff in Ebonhold here that we're going to mess with. So these are my two. We're going to be rocking Dementliu as our sort of, I think they call them Domains of Dread, is all of the different areas in Ebonhold. Ravenloft is the name of the book. My planet's name is Ebonhold. And so using all of the Domains of Dread in here, or just looking at them, I decided to go with Dementliu as our main place, the port of Lucine, Port à Lucine there. And we're going to be using that place. I think it's an interesting sort of, it's a city. It's a beautiful, prosperous city, but it's actually decrepit and poor. The social norms force everyone to pretend they are better off or be shunned or worse. So there's kind of this, as this title of this adventure says, it's a grand masquerade. So there is this lady who took over the town and kind of built it up as this beautiful, prosperous city, but in reality it's not. But everybody knows that it's not, but they all collectively have decided to pretend that it is, and if anybody admits to the obvious fact, then they will be shunned or killed by Cedra D'Honneur. I'm not sure if you say the D or not. I'll have to look into that. And this is also where the Vondon family, who we have eliminated from the we've eliminated them from the high houses, and they're just now a faction separate of the high conglomerate, so we don't have to worry about them having a seat. They're not like the Trade Federation kind of deal where they're like a business that has a family. It's not a thing. So they will be working out of Ebonhold and kind of just being annoyed that this lady has messed with their town and kind of created this weird fake thing, but they also understand that she has a lot of power, so they are kind of going with her for now, but they will hire the party to unmask her. And I think at this point, if this will be the first time that the party comes to Ebenhold, so it will be. They won't have an obvious disdain for the Vondons, but once they see Port Alusine and everything going on there, then I think they will want to expose her and help the people there become more prosperous, right? So that's a thing. And then if they come back, we have a bunch of different scenarios going on here, which I like. There's this place called Chateau Faux, which is a fake place, but I'm going to make it real. So in the book, Chateau Faux is a place where like everybody is pretending to be a higher class than they are. So the actual rich people pretend that there's this place east of the town, outside, like through the Shroud, where they have big open spaces and houses and vineyards and all this, villas and everything. It's not real. It's just a fake place that people pretend to brag about. Or they brag about it, but it's all fake. It's part of the grand illusion, right? And so in my campaign, Chateau Faux is going to be real, but it's not going to be this fake place that they brag about. They're going to do all that. Chateau Faux is going to be, it's going to be perceived to be this obvious fake place, but in reality, it is a real place. It's just where the Vondons do all their crime and stuff. So, then when the party comes back, this will be another adventure that they can do in Port Alusine, go east to Chateau Faux, and there will be a lich there, and the Vondons will be hiring the party. They will reach out and hire the party to come deal with this lich that has been killing their workers and their vineyard, is destroying their vineyard outside their base of operations and stuff. So the idea is, here we'll have a couple different ways that this mission can kind of play out. If the party is affiliated with the Vondons, it'll be a higher paid mission. Just straight up, they'll get a lot more money. It'll be part of their job as being members of the Vondon family. Maybe even a couple of our party members may be vampire spawn if they're that strong with the Vondons. If they're good with Ethereum Pirates Limited or the Spacing Guild, they will get paid less. Just know the Vondons know who works for who, right? And if they are part of the High Conglomerate, their strong faction is the High Conglomerate. They will get contacted by the High Conglomerate shortly after receiving their job summons from the Dons, and they will give them an alternate quest, which, in addition to the Lich being a problem, they will also have the opportunity to defeat Vladimir Vondon, who is the vampire in this campaign, the strongest vampire. And then we also mention here Alanik Ray and Arthur Sedgwick, who are, as I've described them here, gay Sherlock and Watson. Just basically that they are Sherlock Holmes and Watson, but they are gay. I haven't delved deeper into their characters or what they're going to be doing, but I just have those two at the ready should we do some more stuff here. Obviously, right now what I've kind of started to work with is trying to get 2 main adventure hooks. The idea here is very short, right? It's 3 bullet points, and one of them is basically just explaining, what it is. This one is one, expose this person, right? But this will take months, right? I want this to be a major event. These are campaigns within our larger campaign, right? So, but there are also, as I will continue to go, there will be smaller adventures. I got all these books behind me. I just bought this random encounters book because I can't come up with ideas on my own. So this is going to help me come up with ideas to do smaller adventures, quicker stuff, one session things, that sort of stuff. So when the time comes, I can work on building up the longer list of things. But I think these, like coming up with 2 ideas for every planet or moon or space station will kind of be our first bar, so that we can, it's going to help us build the aesthetic, it's going to help us build the vibe, it's going to help us build the main plot points that I want to hit. And the list of things and the adventures are all going to be different, and I want it all to feel unique every time you go somewhere new, right? And I want them to be able to have, like, if they come back, or if they want to come back, then they will have something to do. Because I want it to feel open world, right? I want it to be like, if they decide they want to go back to Kuzimu after I've done everything that I wanted to do there, then I can hopefully have something else for them to do, right? But I also want them to, like, anything that's going to be major isn't going to happen. And I also want I think I'll add on every planet something that, if they don't get there soon enough, will change. There's a forest fire on Unuma, and it changes the tide of the war somehow. If they don't go to Unuma soon enough, then they might come into a world scourged by fire instead of a world not scourged by fire, right? So I think the main idea being that I want it to feel like the world doesn't wait for my player characters. So then the other thing we worked on a lot was Tuna Wrath, which is a thing. I looked through this entire Planescape setting book. I got the 3-set super pack here, right? And it literally mentions Tuna Wrath one time. It's not even in this book, actually. This book has nothing to do with Tuna Wrath. It's in the this one, the Astral Adventures book, and it talks about Tuna Wrath. It says Homeworld or something. It's like a ship city thing, right? And so I don't really have an idea for it, or I thought there was one, but it didn't really manifest the way I thought it would. So what I want to do instead is, like, those Mon Calamari ships that are they're like this weird bubbly kind of thing. They got all these little bulbs on them like this. I kind of want it to be, it doesn't look like that. I don't know what that is. Whoa. I want it to be like this weird kind of like bulbous ship that it's got all these little bulbs on it. It's bubbly. It's got this really weird shape to it that kind of, I don't know, I can't draw. It's like, it's a big orb like this, and then it's got sort of like these little lumps all over, right? So then it kind of there. This looks a little bit more like what I'm thinking in my head. So it's got like all these little bulbs and little crevices and stuff kind of sticking out all over it. And then maybe here at the top there's like some antennas and things kind of just to orient to the top of the ship. And within it is like a city of Githyanki, right? So that's kind of what I'm envisioning Tuna Wrath to look like. I don't know if there must be a thing, right? Is it a place? It might just be a place. Or it's a big city. I don't know. This is Baldur's Gate. I don't think this is Tuna Wrath. Yeah, I don't know. I want it to be a spaceship. So the idea is the Githyanki are not from the Ethereum. They are from wild space, which is like the actual astral stuff, right? So they exist in this real, like, our what Earth space is like. No Ethereum, no breathable, no atmosphere. It's real space, vacuum, cold, airless, deadly, right? So they have to do all the bubble spells and the temporal travel and all that sort of stuff that is not realistic in the Ethereum. So they went through, somehow they managed to get to the Ethereum. It's a weird kind of trapped part of the galaxy nebula that nobody really flies through because it's so far out there, separate from the rest of wild space. It's an outer realm, if you might an outer plane, you might think, and that's where we're gonna get to Sigil, the City of Doors, and the multiverse stuff. Now, I don't want to get too deep into the multiverse stuff, because then we're gonna kind of end up in a little bubble outside of the rest of our rest of our campaign. We're going to end up on a little tangent that can kind of go anywhere forever. So I need to nip the Sigil world a little bit, close it off so that it's more simplified than the whole Great Wheel and the many outer realms and their outer realms and all this stuff. The outer planes and the outer realms and the teleportation and the doors and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to try to simplify it a little bit so that it's not so vast, because these books are very detailed and there's a lot of stuff. So I want to make sure that my players don't get too sidetracked here. But the main idea is the Githyanki came here through Sigil on accident. They have a key back to Sigil, but they don't want to go through it because, like, they don't know how to get back. So they're going to ask the party to go into Sigil, find the key to their wild space, so that they can go back to their home and do whatever they want to do there. Kill mind flayers, probably. So then we can find stuff there. So, or, maybe they need to find pieces of their ancient ship that this ship that they fly around in an effort to repair it, so that they can travel back to wherever they need to go. And then once they leave, they'll leave us with a key, and they can go back to Sigil and find some gate towns and stuff. So the first little bit, they'll only go. I'm gonna keep them in the donut, and then the next time they can go to the gate towns. And I've chosen these three. I don't know a ton about them yet, but I think they kind of have interesting vibes, and we'll see what we want to do there. Otherwise, we have a little bit of ideas for Gleeshgore. So originally, this one was going to be Radiant Citadel stuff. I think I'm going to move away from that in favor of a more tutorial planet. So, Kuzimu, all our players, it's not space yet, right? They are going to start in the 8th layer of hell, right? Kuzimu is Avernus, or all of hell. So they are going to start in the 8th layer, whichever one that is, and rise up to the surface where the astral elves will start their fighting stuff, because the astral elves are going to kind of be our big bads. I think is kind of my main idea. There might be some more big bads or smaller bads that players end up caring about more, but I think that the astral elves are going to be the scourge of the Ethereum. So the first thing they're going to have to do is rise through hell, which will be cool. So we'll have a bunch of fun stuff to do there, and that might take a while on its own. And the level below them, because there are 9 levels of hell, the lowest level is the prison that the tieflings have imprisoned all the fiends and the hags and the devils and these guys, the archfey and, you know, whatever, whoever is down there. Which is where I have like a... If we have a warlock on the team, then their patron will have been imprisoned, and they need to go and break him out, or they'll kill their guy, the warlock, or something, you know? Something interesting like that. But, so then, once they deal with the Astral Elves, they're going to find a barn with a ship in it. It's going to be their first ship, maybe their only ship. I don't know if I've decided if they're going to upgrade the ship, or it's going to be a perfect awesome ship, or it's going to be a raggedy ship, and then they go and buy a new ship. I also haven't decided how I'm going to do money and, like, income and stuff. We'll work on that later. But I want Gleeshgore to be more of an intro to the larger Ethereum versus having it all in the beginning and, like, really mucking everything up. We're gonna take some time to do our intro and get our characters to know each other, get them to level 5 right away, maybe. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna start them at level 3. But I think what I want to do is Spelljammer Academy kind of deal. I think that is a book, so I might need to get the book. It might actually be in there. Maybe. It might. I think it's its own book, actually, so I might have to look into that. But I think I want to do, like, teach them how to do the ships and the combat with the ship and get them their first crew member and kind of sort of take some time to give them experience with space stuff. That way they can feel a little bit more comfortable and kind of ease them into the larger Ethereum. And it'll give us some time to have some brevity and some levity, with the Plasboys. The Plasboys are our plasmoid enemies. They're part... I think I'm going to make them part of the EPL, the Ethereum Pirates Limited. Just a crew of pirates on maybe a couple ships as they've formed a blockade over Gleeshgore in an attempt to reestablish their leader in the High Seat. So the Delglagor family currently has the High Seat for the planet of Gleeshgore, and the Plasboys want their captain, who was the High Seat sitter, the High Sitter. They want him back in power for whatever reason, for their own selfish games. So the players then can engage the Plasboys or negotiate to end the blockade, however they want to do it, of course. And then I kind of think that I want the Gleeshgore to have a bit of a hub, as a hub world. So it might have an additional spaceport specific for ships, or because it is Cassiopeia, which has the Golden Vault, which we'll work on later. I need the book for that. But I want to do... Maybe I'll add here that they have sort of like a Spelljammer hub. So there's going to be... like... You can buy ships, you can upgrade ships, and that sort of thing. Buy, upgrade, repair, fight other ships, that sort of thing. And having keys from the Golden Vault will give us reason to come back every once in a while, because there will be a lot of fun stuff to do there. I might actually change this to be the Spelljammer Academy. Maybe Cassiopeia is kind of where, like, the GIF hang out, because they make the classic pirate ship-looking Spelljammers. So maybe they could just be the premier Spelljam craftsmen, and they work here in Cassiopeia, and they do ship stuff. So I think that's a better idea, so let's do that. I'm pretty sure Spelljammer Academy is a book. I'll look into it. Don't you worry. Okay, and then we worked on Hilda a little bit. So sort of just ideas. So we're going to have the Star Forge. Did I already talk about this? Maybe I did. I don't remember. I should have looked. It's been a while. It's been over 2 weeks since I looked at all this stuff. We did the Deepstone Crypt. I talked about this a little bit. I haven't touched this. I haven't touched Numa or Bowl. Okay, but there is some new stuff down here. So, miscellaneous ideas and our checklist. So this is going to help us build up what I need to do. So again, spaceship and its crew, I got to work on that. Miscellaneous ideas, I got to work on that. Just anytime anything interesting sounds interesting, there's a torch puzzle that I saw that was pretty cool that I want to put in there. Something named Cobalt Bride. I don't know. The name is just cool. I saw it on graffiti or something somewhere. I don't remember. I just thought the word Cobalt Bride was cool. And let me know if that's something super offensive or racist or something, and I'll get rid of it. I don't know what that is. I just saw it somewhere and thought it sounded cool. And then Hand of Golos is my other campaign that I was working on that I've kind of scrapped, and I think I want to take the few good things from it and throw it in here. So it ended up being ChatGPT, and I think I needed to not do it that way. I need to actually use real resources as well as my own brain a little bit more. Again, I talked about it in the last episode, but I don't think ChatGPT is necessarily like inherently a bad thing to use. Just don't use it to don't use it to make your plans. Use it to brainstorm and then make things from there. So we have the BBEG, Big Bad Evil Guy. That's what that stands for. I found out finally what that stands for. So we need to kind of look at these astral elves, and then I might add another one or two. I do want the astral elves to be like the final boss of sorts, and I think having a reoccurring character from them will be the most important, whether that's the princess lady or the actual prince king, whatever the guy who is leading the astral elves is. And then the main story will be the astral elves, and then the Stellari as well. I think I want to focus on figuring out the mysteries of the universe, as well as our character stories and stuff, which is where I want my player characters to help come up with ideas, because I need them to be part of this world building, just enough that I can integrate them, and then nothing else, right? So it's like if I wish my players would give me a fully fleshed out character today, so that I can spend the next year or whatever building little blips and moments throughout the campaign to give their characters something to do. Because I feel like in our current campaign, all of the characters have no reason to be together and no reason to do what we're doing, which is a bit lackluster. So the characters end up just being the people that are playing, and they don't feel like individuals. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, and then just kind of detailing out what the other things I need to do. So, yeah, I think that is all for today. I don't know if there's anything specific, I know what I need to do yet. I want to. It's hard. I want to be able to have 2 ideas for every planet, and then slowly build them out from there. But I also, I don't know. There's a level of too much planning. You know what I'm saying? But it's also like, I got resources. I need to figure this out. So maybe it's more so that I should just spend some time in the books, and like really actually spend some time in the books and looking at everything, so that I have a multitude of ideas running through my head when I come in here and actually have something to do. Before I hit record, just be like, okay, we're going to work on Desperado today. And then, pull out the Eberron book and just sit here and figure it out. Right? So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do.